Welcome back. I am Shaggy Philalitea, and this is Speedrunning the Rat Tail for shits and gigs. I'm not allowed to use that kind of language this early in the video. I'm gonna get demonetized. Yeah, I'm not monetized, guys. Thanks for being here. If you don't know, I'm Shaggy because I can't tell a story in one go, and Philalitea means lover of truth. It's a religious designation. I don't need to say it at the beginning of all of these, but I can't know who's going to click in for the first time. I am, if you haven't watched the previous, why are you starting so late? Whatever, I actually want to know the answer. Tell me in the comments after you like and subscribe why you're not starting at the beginning. I'm very interested to know the answer. It's not. I don't make value judgments. If it's a criticism, I'll tell you I'm criticizing you, and that I think it's bad. I wouldn't just go, "Why would you do that?" If I thought it was bad, I would want to engage with you more deeply than that terrible question, because that sets you up to do the thing we've talked about from my perspective already today, but the thing we've talked about from your perspective in other videos, to be giving rationalizations rather than good reasons. It sets you up to be making excuses. And that's what the question wants. So today's theme, from my perspective, has been resource management, time management specifically. Why didn't I cheat? And so we're just going to kind of talk into the future, oh my goodness, about time management and whatever else pops into my head. This is the worst possible way to do this, but I'm gonna hope I get lucky. You really don't want to do it this way. But Darrow has been consistently acting before drugs this whole dungeon. Perfect. Just how I wanted that to go, actually. So last video we kind of touched on how relationships are about time management, about, especially if you're a male, managing that you want to be around your girl is a big deal. It's so strange. I people watch while I'm out in public, and the number of girls, the number of girls who sit by their boys just happy to be with their boy in public, and the boy is on the phone, usually gaming, doing something entirely other than spending, I mean, he's there in spirit and body, but not in mind. He's not with her. He's not with her. It's not quality time. It's just time spent. And so, you know, your time management does go into the quality of your time. I think that's when I started this out, this being homelessness, I was very annoyed by people not being willing to think about how my time would be spent in homelessness, like how difficult doing this, but doing it live and managing, making the time to do it for free and live. I don't think very many people stopped and really thought about, well, what's that going to require? Like, if I'm going to sit in public like I did today in that Panera, I did sit and record today in a Panera, and I'm not spending money in the establishment. I know it says free Wi-Fi on the door, and that is an invitation to come in and use the Wi-Fi, but it's not an invitation to loiter for hours and hours and hours using the Wi-Fi. It's not an invitation to live there. So I'm mindful of that. And I don't think there were, I think there was exactly one other person who knew me in my previous incarnation who was mindful of that. And that it's not even just the lack of mindfulness, it was that lack of baseline respect, the baseline consideration to put yourself in my shoes, right? And so time management also includes like spending the time necessary to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes before you criticize how they spend their time, right? So this is what I'm telling you, like, if you're struggling with your time management, what you're really struggling with is your hierarchy of priorities. But you have been taught, especially if you're in the United States, that hierarchy is largely artificial. But your hierarchy of priorities is only artificial in that you have to craft it. It does require craftsmanship in order to have a hierarchy of priorities that makes sense for you and with which you can live. And so I've told you before, whether here or on the main channel, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. You are responsible for your code of ethics. No one else is going to develop a code of ethics for you. But here's the thing. You don't get to decide what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. So when people like Jordan Peterson ask the question, well, can an individual develop their own morality? The answer is no. No, you cannot develop your own morality. You're still going to be judged by the standard of, well, you're still going to be judged by society's moral standard. In fact, you're still going to be judged by God's moral standard one way or the other. You will die eventually, and the future will have their way with what you did. But you can't make your own morality, but you must develop your own code of conduct, your own ethic. And the reason you must develop your own ethic isn't just that nobody else is going to do it for you, but because no one else is going to hold you to it until you're dead. Not to your code of conduct, not to your ethic. Nobody, they talk about, in the business world, you talk about self-starters or self-motivated people, and the reason you need to be self-motivated in order to fit in order to work in the corporate world, is because there's nobody whose job it is to keep you. There's nobody in adulthood whose job it is to keep you productive. And I'll tell you, I know the community that I was in, the community that I was a part of, and it still exists and it's still going strong, and good for them. I don't want them to not be going strong, but they're going to have to learn this lesson. One person can't be responsible with keeping everybody moving, keeping everybody busy. One person can't be responsible for watching over everybody's shoulders. You run into a tyranny situation with that, but you also run into an enlightened despotism with that, where only one person has the answers, and they better well be enlightened or everyone's fucking dead. That's why I'm not part of that community anymore, is because I was already about to experience an ego death, whether I liked it or not. I was having a revelation experience, and God was working his way into and through my life, and I had exactly zero illusions that what I needed to be doing was surrendering myself to a collective will that wasn't self-motivated. I had to be self-motivated, or I was going to be dead. I would have frozen to death if I couldn't have found a way to self-motivate. Males especially are bad about, in fact, using the women in their lives to motivate. And so women have adopted using the animals in their lives or their children in their lives to motivate, and that has diminishing returns, because depression will convince you that you don't actually care about those things, and that those things can fall by the wayside, and now you don't need to worry about whether you are or are not motivated. In fact, we're talking about time management, spending time thinking about whether you are or are not motivated. Am I inspired before you work? Am I motivated to do this before you work? Is why you are stuck. It's why you're stuck. It's the rut you are stuck in. And so what you have to do is you have to find your own reason. You have to find your own motivation, right? Not a rationality for why you shouldn't do it, but a reason for why it's the only thing that matters in the whole universe. And once you find something that it's the only thing that matters, and everything is able to tie into that being the only thing in the entire universe that matters to you, then you can start to do things, you can start to accomplish things, and you can start to look forthrightly at God and demand your place on the throne. You understand? Your place on the ziggurat, if you prefer. If you like Tool, you could demand that it's time for your wings, that God elevate you beyond just humanity, but to what comes after humanity, not even after death, but after the ascension of the soul through all of the stages of consciousness. But the Bible makes this very clear. The Christian tradition, Jesus made this very clear. The only way to do that is to ascend to the state of consciousness, which is love. And the only way you're ascending to the state of consciousness, which is love, the only way you're doing it is by following in somebody else's footsteps. Because you were never taught how to love. You were taught pop psychology language like love languages. I'm in very real trouble in this fight. But you were never taught how to love. You maybe were taught by a significant other or a sexual partner how to make love, how to do sex. But that's only one kind of love. That's only, in fact, one definition of love. And you can do better. I know you can do better because you've done better before. You just didn't know you were doing it. And you didn't know how to repeat it. And see, that's where science breaks apart for you, is the repetition, the replication. Most people don't understand that science needs to be infinitely repeatable. And it needs to have the exact same, you need to have the same results every time. If you have varying results, what you don't have is certainty. And science means knowing, right? Conscience with knowing. It means what's always true, what you can be certain about. And science is reaching with the material to aletheia, which is a mystical abstract. So science can never reach entirely. Science will never pin down what's true. All science can really ever do, and this is why you need a background in science if you're going to get into religion, is science can tell you what's not true. And negative approaches to God were the best way to get there for thousands of years. That's why, and Pastor Mark at my church even made the point when he was reading 1 Corinthians, the love list, what love is, out of Paul's pen, really. He actually made the point to say, it's remarkable to him, and to me as well, I'm remarking on it, that the list is mostly what love is not. The list of what love is mostly a negative attribution of love. It's a negative approach to love. And so negative approaches to truth, meaning negative attempts to close the gap of what we don't know, negative approaches to God, in other words, were the best we had. They were just the best we had for a long time, but we've split the atom now, and we can look inside that atom, and we can do so much more with our observation. I've talked in this place about how if you want to do science, and you want to do synchronicity, and you want to do oracle, and you want to be mystical, you have to understand yourself as an observer and outside the complexity system that's working around you. And if you understand yourself as outside it, you understand yourself as being acted upon, and that just takes so much of the pressure off of you as an individual. I'm very serious about that. I talked about how you can take pressure off of yourself just by believing in Jesus. Takes the pressure off of you. It puts a different kind of pressure on you. It puts a self-motivational pressure on you. Instead of always looking outside the self to what the society tells you to be, you get to look inside yourself and ask you if what you are and what you are becoming is who and what you want. And that takes an immense amount of pressure off you to perform in it. God damn it. Perform in a particular way for people that you may or may not want to perform for. Like your lack of motivation is very much what I was going through, and this is why so many people got upset with me calling them out for it, is I wasn't motivated to be what they wanted me to be. They weren't rewarding me in a rewarding way for being what they wanted me to be. And that's why I tell you all the time, if what you want to do is change my approach to this channel, you better do it with dollars in hand, because I'm not going to hear it otherwise. It's for the future, but while I'm doing it, it's for me. This is what I want the future to be like. You know, we talk, you hear the pop psychology phrase, really, it's not even pop psychology. It came out of neo-paganism. Not neo-paganism. It came out of neo-Marxism. The be the change you want to be. You hear it all the time from post-humanists and postmodernists. I meant to say neo-humanist and postmodernist. I get those backward all the time. You hear it all the time. Be the change you want to be. Well, what I want to see influencers do is actually engage with the things they love. That's why there's a shorts, I don't know his name, he's a New York Italian guy who just does shorts, and for the most part he's just eating, but he's gotten really big recently, and so what he's doing with his channel now is using it to advertise locally for the things that he actually uses and loves. Oh, that's not as good as I thought it was. Okay. Ethers aren't as good as I thought they were. I'm gonna need to buy a shitload of those. Oh no! Did I just make it? No, thank goodness. This is probably the boss. Called it. Glad I thought about that before I did something stupid. Okay, so we're gonna go raise the party's defense. Raise the party's evasion. Fuck yeah. I should be able to survive this. I don't know about easy. It's probably gonna want to hit me with ice magic, and I don't think I have. Oh, that's even better than the boss fight. I'm not going to tell you why either. To kill this pecker again? God damn. I don't remember what I was talking about. And see, this is why I've decided to give myself one topic. This is how I used to do talking to myself gaming. But this is why I've decided to give myself one topic. Time management. Because if I forget what I'm talking about, I can always go, well, I was talking about time management, so let's approach it from a different let's approach it from a different angle. Or I can just repeat time management to you so I'm still talking. Why did I do that? That right there. This is hubris. I did that with closed eyes. Can't even watch what I just did. I might have just wiped. Jeez Louise. Luce, you inconsistent bitch. This next hit should kill it. Oh, jeez. None too soon. Let's hit them with diarrhea. I do like about this early game that the numbers are so small. But I also appreciate about later games that if you have the character space and you have the, I think it's ROM, probably RAM, no, probably ROM. You have the space necessary and you have the processing power necessary to calculate like 6 digits of health. You want to just because the tech lets you. But the points do, I mean the health points and everything does become basically DDR numbers is what I call it. Oh yeah, I got 6 billion points, did I DDR? What I also like about this game, that the deeper you get into it, the more powerful you become, yeah, definitely. But the more, not necessarily difficult is what I'm trying to say, but the more you have to pay attention to every battle. The more likely it is that every battle is going to be a total wipe if you make a mistake. I like that. Because early in the game, yeah, there's a chance you're just going to wipe on some bullshit. And now what I want is to get out of here. Evidently the ice cave is easier than I thought. And that's good, because now I have this thing that I've got, and I can go and do a thing. Maybe. I just gotta figure out how to get the fuck back to where I was. Did I not get rid of his poison? Am I glitched? I should save. I should save. But I'm not gonna, 'cause I do not freaking want to. 24 minutes doesn't feel like long enough. So maybe, oh, come on now. Act right. Maybe I can go do Maybe I can speak in full sentences. Maybe I can go do the thing that I just got. Maybe I can show you what that is. Right now. La da dee dee dee. Blah dun dun doo. We're gonna find out. La da da dee 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 dee. So yeah, when I was saying that I'm not actually good enough at this game to actually speedrun it and actually challenge run it, I might be next time. I might be practicing for that. I tell you, it would be an almost impossible build as 4 warriors. Just trying to get them geared up would be a fucking nightmare. And then the healing items. Oh, the healing items. Not something I ever want to do is play with 4 of one class. 4 white mages would take for fucking ever. You'd just be grinding like crazy. You'd have no offense capability. You'd have to be like 10 levels above the game. It would suck. Hey! Look what I got. Biggity, biggity, bang. You obtain an airship. Yeah, fuck traveling on foot. Fuck random encounters. Now I get to... Okay. That was a bitch move, Final Fantasy. You know that was a bitch move, right? Anyway, in the context of time management, what I'm trying to do is get into as few fights as possible. That was a cool noise that I made, and I'm glad I made it. Oh, the only way you're getting here is... How would I have gotten here? Oh, the way I was going and getting my dick kicked off. Yeah, okay, I made the right choice. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say, hey, thanks for being here, y'all. You just saw me get the mother freaking airship. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a cottage. And I'm gonna say, come on back now, you hear? We'll still be talking about time management until... I read, you know what, I'll read my other topic, and maybe we'll see if we can't combine topics, because I might be out of things to say about time management for today, which means that we might just hit that again in the future. Alright, awesome. Thanks for being here. I've been Shaggy Phil Alitea. You've been watching me speedrun my way to the Rat Tail. On next episode, we're going to do Mount Gulg, and then we're going to be one dungeon closer. I think the next thing I have to do after Gulg is there's an optional tower that I have to do, and then I think I'm there. Alright, thanks for being here. Until next time, I've been Shaggy, and this has been Talking to the Future, the podcast, where I game and talk to the future.